Nothing stops your heart quite like turning the key and hearing the engine crank but refuse to start, or having it run so roughly you think it might shake apart. If you have plugged in your scanner and found code P0389, you are dealing with a crankshaft position sensor B circuit intermittent issue. This is a serious one because your engine relies on this sensor to know exactly where the pistons are. Without that data, the computer cannot time the spark plugs or fuel injectors correctly. The code specifically mentions sensor B. On vehicles with multiple sensors, this is usually the secondary one. It is not just dead, it is intermittent. That means the signal is cutting in and out, which can actually be more frustrating to diagnose than a sensor that has completely failed. The Powertrain Control Module, or PCM, expects a nice steady waveform from this sensor as the crankshaft spins. Inside the engine, there is a reluctor ring. Think of it like a gear with teeth that spins past the magnetic tip of the sensor. As those teeth pass by, they create a voltage signal. If that signal gets choppy, too low, or erratic, the P0389 code is set. The causes here are often physical. Since these sensors are mounted low on the engine, they are prime targets for oil leaks, road debris, and corrosion. A connector soaked in power steering fluid or engine oil can short out the signal just enough to cause this intermittent failure. Your diagnosis should start with a good visual inspection. Look for frayed wires or melted insulation near the hot exhaust. If the wiring looks pristine, you will need a digital voltometer and preferably an oscilloscope. You want to see if the 5-volt reference signal is reaching the sensor. If it is, the oscilloscope becomes your best friend. You can watch the live waveform of the sensor while the engine is running or cranking. You are looking for glitches or spikes in the pattern. A great trick is to wiggle the wire harness while watching the screen. If the wave jumps when you move the wire, you have found a loose connection. Also, do not forget to check the sensor tip itself. If it is covered in metal shavings, it cannot read the reluctor ring clearly. Clean it off, and you might just solve the problem for free.